Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews. As we continue the Halloween Train franchise reviews, we have Halloween 6 now, The Curse of Michael Myers. So let's get into it here. So with Halloween 6, there's essentially two versions, the theatrical version and the producer's cut. Basically they had his producer's cut and then the theatrical cut with more violence and more gore. For me personally, I like the theatrical cut just because of some of the decisions that was made in the producer's cut, which we'll get into as the movie progresses. So we get to find out what Jamie's been up to. So Jamie's like So Jamie is an older version now. She's like in this laboratory cult thingy. She's giving birth to this baby. God knows what's like happened to her. And so she's basically trying to escape this using the help of a nurse. And the nurse and Jamie are trying to work together, trying to like escape, trying to get out of this place. And so Michael Myers is chasing after them, trying to get Jamie basically. And so Michael Myers ends up killing the nurse that actually helped Jamie, and Jamie finds this truck. This driver comes out to like see what's going on, and Michael Myers ends up like snapping the driver's neck. So there's two versions of this kill. So you've got the producer's cut, which Michael Myers just like twists the neck and kills him, and then you've got the theatrical cut with the bones showing and the blood and everything like that, just like a more gory version. But Jamie ends up like escaping using the truck and driving off. However, Michael Myers, he ends up catching up with Jamie and ends up killing her in like the most horrific way possible. Like I said, there's two versions. So you've got the first version with Michael Myers getting her into like this farm area with like the hay and all that kind of stuff, and like these like spikes sticking out that Jamie ends up like going into, and then it starts twisting on her, just like ended up killing her in like this gruesome, incredible way. And then you've got another version where she gets killed in the hospital with a gun to her head as she's like unconscious. After killing off Rachel so quickly in the previous movie, you've now got Jamie getting killed off in this movie. So then obviously now it's like the female lead gets killed off, you get introduced to the next female lead, which is basically, I think it was Laurie Strode's cousin. Basically this Strode family are now living in Michael Myers' house, and you've got the female lead, Kara Strode, you've got the dad, you've got the mum, and you've got the Kara's son as well. It's all living in like Michael Myers' old house here. I just found it weird that like they have to be linked to the Strode family. It could have just been just a separate family. I don't know why they need it to be Strode. Like every movie has to be like linked to like Michael Myers' like family member. I didn't understand that part of it. So then you have the introduction to her character and her family, and then across the road you've got the introduction to Paul Rudd's character, Tommy Doyle, the little boy that was babysitted by Laurie Strode all the way back in the first movie. And in terms of Paul Rudd's performances, I like to see him in Ant-Man and all these types of movies now versus like back then. It's complete night and day. Some of his performances was funny and like in terms of like acting ability, but he did a really good job in this movie though. So Tommy Doyle's basically been obsessed with like Michael Myers ever since the first Halloween movie. He's got posters, pictures, everything. Got this little like radio station that he's like listening to. He hears that something happened in the bus station, so he goes to the bus station and finds this baby who turns out to be the baby that Jamie like had, and she left him in the bathroom in this bus station. So Tommy Doyle basically picks up the baby and takes the baby back to safety, takes the baby to the hospital where he like meets up with Dr. Loomis. And Dr. Loomis is sort of like retired at this point. He's just like living his life, still obsessed with like Michael, but sort of like a toned down version at this point. So in the producer's cut with like Jamie, what I mentioned is her getting killed off in the hospital, is basically that scene where like Jamie gets killed in the hospital with a gun. So yeah, Tommy Doyle basically puts the baby in like the hospital, and he informs Loomis that like the Strodes are now living in like Michael Myers' house. And so Dr. Loomis goes and tries to warn like the Strode family, like the mother of Kara. He's like warning her to like get out, this is Michael Myers' house.
It's been my life work and my ultimate failure. This force, this thing that lived inside of him came from a source too violent, too deadly for you to imagine. It grew inside him, contaminating his soul. It was pure evil.
House. She takes it serious and does try to leave, but Michael Myers ends up like killing her in like the most brutal way, like, and that's where like you see the mask. And for me, this mask was a lot more better than 4 and 5. Definitely improved. A little bit of issues with the nose in itself. However, I feel like the mask in itself is so much more better looking than the ones in the previous movie, so it's definitely an improvement. And so like you have Michael Myers like looking down at this lady as she's trying to escape, using an axe to just killing her off, and he basically takes care of the first family member that was in the house. So then you've got Kara coming home, and she finds that her son is in this room with Paul Rudd's character Tommy, who's also holding the baby and just looking so creepy basically. But Tommy convinces Kara to come back to his place. He explains, basically in the previous movie had this like tattoo of this P that showed up on like Michael Myers' arm, and basically what Paul Rudd explained about Michael and like where his strength comes from, the Thorn trilogy aspect of these movies, is that Michael Myers has been infected with this ancient droid curse that causes him to kill. That's basically the dumbed down version of that explanation basically.
According to Celtic legend, one child from each tribe was chosen to be inflicted with the curse of Thorn, to offer the blood sacrifices of its next of kin on the night of Samhain. The Druids were also great mathematicians and astronomers. The Thorn symbol is actually a constellation of stars that appears from time to time on Halloween night. Whenever it appears, he appears.
Basically, so he's got a curse, like this droid curse that causes him to kill. And they're kind of just playing off like Michael Myers is like a henchman to this cult people, the Men in Black, and it's frustrating to see that and listen to that. Like Michael Myers, I like the motives in Halloween 1, Halloween 2 even in some aspect. I hate this thought process that Michael Myers is killing because he's got this curse, he's attached to this thorn thingy, like. And so as we get down the stairs of Tommy Doyle's house, you find out that this old lady is actually Michael Myers' babysitter from all those years ago, when he ended up killing his sister from the first Halloween movie. And you get to like the scene of the dad of the Strode family coming home. Michael Myers ends up killing this man. 2 versions of it. There's one where he just gets electrocuted normally, and then the other version, which I loved more, is that he gets electrocuted so much that his head blows up. That kill for me is so much better than like the any other kill in this movie. It was so epic. But you find out that Loomis finds out that Jamie ended up having a baby. He remembers that Tommy Doyle was carrying a baby in the hospital, so he goes to find Tommy. And also there's like a little side scene, not subplot or anything like that, but there's this radio host who gets these people to go to Michael Myers' house. Michael just ends up killing them and then kills this radio host and then has him dangling in a tree with the blood dripping down. I just thought I'd mention that part, because like as Michael Myers is killing these teenagers in his house, you see Kara seeing these kills go down. Then she sees her son going to the house and having to like sprint trying to save her son, trying to get her away from Michael Myers. And you have like this epic intense filled scene. You've got like this moment where the mum that he killed earlier on in the movie still has the axe, so he just takes the axe out of her body, trying to like kill Kara. Kara ends up kicking him down the stairs, trying to like run out of the house. And like I love like the cinematography, like this I have to give a shout out to, like the scenery and the cinematography and the images that was showing as the movie was progressing. You've got these like blue lighting, the lighting in this particular scene with Michael coming out of the house chasing after Kira was perfectly done, so that I have to give a great props to them for doing that part. So then you've got Kara running back into like Tommy's house, and that's where you've got like this big reveal. So this character that like Dr. Loomis was having this conversation with earlier on in the movie, and it's the same person that Dr. Loomis had a brief conversation with in Halloween 1. He's actually the doctor who's behind this, all these men in black people basically. And you also find out that Michael Myers' babysitter is also part of this whole cult people, men in black group. What cracked me up in this particular scene too, after the reveal, you've got Kara, her logic of just jumping out the window to try and escape, only to find out that like they've been drugged, and you've got Loomis and now Tommy having to try and go find Kara after she's been kidnapped. They go back to like this laboratory, this lab. So you've got Tommy finding the laboratory, finding the room where Kara is being held in. Michael Myers finds Tommy, is like slowly walking towards him. Tommy ends up like unlocking the room. Kara's like escaping with him, and I love like the scene where like Michael Myers grabs Kara by the hair. Tommy ends up like shooting Michael Myers, and in this version, in like this cut, you've got basically Tommy and Kara with the baby, and Tommy basically tricks Michael Myers, pretends to hand him the baby only to like sedate him using like so many needles, just putting it inside him, and then just trying to beat him to death with a pipe and basically killing him off. And them escaping, they ask Loomis if to come with him, but you have Loomis saying that he needs to make sure that Michael Myers is actually dead, so they drive off escaping, and Loomis goes back to the scene. However, what we see is Michael Myers' mask, and you hear Loomis screaming in the background. So like unfortunately Donald Pleasant passed away shortly after filming this movie, so like they kind of killed him off screen, but this was like the final appearance of Dr. Loomis there, and I kind of wished he had more of a happy ending, even though I prefer this version and this ending that they did give him. So I kind of liked what they did with that, and sucks that like they killed him off camera. But in terms of like the whole third act of this part, I like this version more, because you've got the second version of the third act, which is the producer's cut. So you've got this scene where Kara is basically tied to this stone, laying flat. You have this image of this doctor guy, the leader of the Men in Black, and you've got Michael Myers, this slasher icon, standing next to him as a henchman, just waiting for his orders. I hate that they reduced Michael to this. You have him fiddling with his chains in the previous movie, and now you've got him standing there like this henchman. So they're doing this cult ritual, and they find out this messed up thing of that Kara reveals that the father of Jamie's baby is Michael. So Michael at some point, I need to choose my words carefully here, Michael got with his niece at some point, impregnated her, and had her baby basically. So, and then basically you've got Tommy pretending to be dressed up as one of the Men in Blacks, basically helping Kara to escape, running away. You've got Michael Myers chasing after them, only to be stopped by a circle of stones. So you have this slasher icon being stopped by being placed in a circle of stones. You have him literally just standing there not moving, because he's in a circle with stones surrounding him. So they basically escape because Michael can't move. Like he's literally just standing there watching them escape. And so in this car, once again, like they drive off, they're asking Loomis to come with them, and he declines. He needs to go back to finish what he started. And so then once he like goes back to like Michael Myers, he unmasks, only to find out that it's actually the doctor there. And so Michael Myers has escaped, and Dr. Loomis gets that Thorn P letter tattoo, and he's just screaming because of that. So like yeah, the theatrical cut is so much better than the producer's cut. So much better. Even the kills in itself are so much better. Like, however, though, I still don't think this movie is worth saving. Even both cuts, just terrible, terrible decisions they've made with Michael Myers, and just going such downhill after that. Like, for this one, I really don't recommend it. It's just, it wasn't that great of a movie. Yeah, some of the kills were great. Some aspects of the plot could have been good, but the whole Thorn trilogy, the whole Thorn aspect, droid curse, Michael as a henchman, that kind of stuff, just, it really killed the character and the fear that you have with Michael Myers. So I was left very disappointed though. If you've seen the movie and if you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comment section below. I know there are, like I said, fans of each movie. Some movies I may not like, and I know a lot of people do enjoy it, but let me know down in the comment section below. As we continue the month of Halloween, I've got many more videos. At the time of this recording, I've seen Halloween Ends, so there's going to be the Rob Zombie 1 and 2 reviews coming out, along with H2O and Halloween Resurrection, along with the trilogy of Halloween 2018 Kills and Ends, all coming out very soon, so definitely keep an eye out on the channel for that. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This is YK Review, so peace.